Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. These two teams had not one but 2 memorable encounters a year ago. Their first one was Week 5. That's when Ben Roethlisberger threw a handful of interceptions. Jacksonville won big, and then, of course, the Jags, Charles, they doubled down in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat Pittsburgh again in Pittsburgh, 45-42, to advance to their 3rd AFC Championship game in franchise history. And I like what you did there. A handful. 5 interceptions by Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he struggled in that first outing. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles looking deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
With it is Brown. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Fowler in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. from the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Oh, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go play action with Roethlisberger. Stepping up, he'll try and run. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell is a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a 1st.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Roethlisberger. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Eli Rogers, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he's able to put it through. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Here we go, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
11B, 11B. 372.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. And he's got Moncrief. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Bunch right, bunch right, bunch right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Lucy, Lucy.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Ready? Blue 30.
They go play action now. Roethlisberger. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do this.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point hung the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that makes the score 21-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, here's Fournette. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Punch right, punch right, punch right.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Now Brown. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Quan Alexander coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. On 2nd down, it's Bell. He's got room to run past the 20. And all the way up to the 21-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case,
and the Jags get to him as down he goes. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Ryan Shazier. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
Green 80. Green 80. spread right, 72. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Sunday. Go left. Green 80. 372. Let's go.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. He's going to float this one deep right. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. Throwing on first down is Bortles. Dumps it off to Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
372.
A final shot before half for Bortles. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a good gain. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front, as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to have really good starting field position here, as that's taken up close to the 40. Out come the Jaguars now, as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Bortles now on first down. He'll set up the screen to Fournette, and he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Bortles. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
On third down, Roethlisberger goes underneath for Bell. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Roethlisberger now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Ben to throw again. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Again, it's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what. Whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief, that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Take both of them.
Again, it's Bell. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And now out come the Jags. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Here we go. Here we go. Sunday.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And some space here. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
11. Check.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Bortles to throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
This is Bell, and not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Calais Campbell in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. A good return there, call it 13 yards. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Bortles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking long for Westbrook. And this is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars get a score closer.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Sutton now to return. Shedding the tackle. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
This defensively got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Here we go.
They'll pitch it out to Bell. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Rolling to his right. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applied it.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football, and he's brought down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Here we go. Let's go.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Calais Campbell in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Let's go. Baby. Set. 180.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
I'll go. Hey, spread left. Spread left.
They begin with a run by Fournette, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and it'll be second and very short, counting down at 30 seconds remaining. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and it's knocked away and incomplete.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been in man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. Bortles. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Let's go. Spread right, 72. All good. So right. All good. So left. Green 80. Green is on.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Sean Davis with a pick.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Steelers, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture me, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia, If you go around, come around. Yeah. Hoes want yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the trolls. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth. And who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. About tag on. I got it in the bag now. Getting all type of cash. I'm a general. I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breasts by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my